We have a presentation this evening by Mr. Saladin Allah, who has done a lot of work, is very respected. Mr. Allah, would you like to step forward and please give your presentation?
We are having some technical difficulties with our overhead projection this evening, so we're not able to show a PowerPoint presentation.
Nothing ever goes easy.
Check 1, 2.
We have our presentation here. We have ours. It was printed out for us.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody
okay.
ready?
So I got 10 minutes.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's on.
oh, do you have a different one?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh,
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, council, corporate council, residents. Today I wanted to present on a project that was presented before the council back in July 2023. So there was 3 sitting council members at the time. So 3 of you are aware of this project already. The other new council members, you are also aware of this project. So this is not the first time that you're laying eyes on this. So I wanted to first put that on the record. Number 1, this asphalt mural project does not cost the city a dime. So it's important that I state that up front, because a lot of times we have these conversations about taxpayers and money being taken from here, money being taken from there. This project is fully funded by a very competitive grant that our Niagara Falls National Heritage Area received by Bloomberg Philanthropies. Now, Bloomberg Philanthropies is at the forefront of traffic safety art installations. They're the experts on this. And they've been installing these projects and supporting them across the United States and in Europe for well over a decade. There were 200 cities that applied for this grant, and we were one amongst 200 cities that actually received this grant for this project. So we are nationally and internationally known for being a part of this project. The other thing to put on the record is when this project was first presented to the city council, our city administration, through some very rigorous evaluation, eventually supported this project. So we got the approval of the city administration, and we received the approval of all of the adjacent departments that are necessary to collaborate with in order to install this project. So number 1, we have support from the city. Number 2, we have support from all of the departments. And number 3, it is fully funded. Now, what is the purpose of a traffic safety art installation? The purpose of it is to provide safety to the community. Last time that this was presented before the council, that project was scrutinized about its safety, when this was actually a traffic safety project. The question that was not asked is what is currently unsafe in this intersection where we're going to be installing this project. That question wasn't asked. Before you, I submitted our traffic observation data because some of the council members at the time were unsure about the safety in that intersection. And for those who are not aware, we're talking about the intersection at the location where the White Coffee Shop is, the public library, right in that area where Port de Germain connect. So what we did is we went out and we bought a speed gun. And we took 3 months of hours of traffic observation that we share with you this evening. In that traffic observation, one of the things that we learned is that the average speed of cars traveling through that intersection is 41 miles an hour. That is the average speed. We also have images that we submitted of the actual speed of cars that we saw traveling through that intersection. One of the other things that I also included is a high injury map that was produced by the city of Niagara Falls. And on this map, you can literally see all of the intersections in the city and the injury rate and the danger of people in those intersections. The large star that you see on this map is that intersection. The next thing that I also included is the intersection crash history. So you can see evidence of the danger of that intersection. Now, anybody who's walked through that intersection by the public library, anybody, you have a natural inclination to rush from one side of the street to the other. Why do people hurry up and get across the street? People rush to get across the street because it's not a pedestrian-centered intersection. Motorists think that they have the right of way. If you go right across the border to Canada or go to other cities, communities are more walkable, where cars literally stop for pedestrians because it's pedestrian-centered. How do you create pedestrian-centered intersections? You don't just tell people to slow down and put signs up. You build it. That's what this project is. It's building a walkable community that's pedestrian-centered. The other information that I included are 3 sheets of collisions that have happened in that intersection for the last decade. And one thing that you will notice from this data that is from the city, that most of these collisions happen in broad daylight. Many of them are because of unsafe speed in that intersection. Some of the collisions have happened with pedestrians. Now go back to what I just mentioned about people rushing to get from one side of the street to the other. If you're an able-bodied person and you rush to get across the street, how do you think a child feels? How do you think an elder feels striving to get from one side of the street to the next? Why? Because there are no crosswalks. One thing we observe with our traffic observations is everybody jaywalked. Why? Because there are no crosswalks. So the question is not, is this project safe? The question is, what has happened since July 23rd to today to mitigate the danger that still exists in that intersection? Nothing has happened. We strive to present this as a solution in 2023. From that point to today, this city is now looked at as municipal liability. What does that mean? If you own a bar and some people are patronizing your bar and they tell you, hey, you gotta fix this door because this door is causing a problem with people coming in and out of here, and you're the owner and somebody told you that, guess who's liable if somebody gets hurt on that door and you knew what the issue was? You are liable, because now you can be looked at as being willfully negligent. Willfully. In this map that we show you, there is a small island that is also a part of this project. So there's a small asphalt mural in the middle between where the public library is and the other side of the street. Why would we put something like that in the middle of the street? That is called a pedestrian refuge, because you have many elders that live in robo-towers, that are in motor wheelchairs. Do you expect them to hurry up and ride that across the street in an intersection where motorists think that they have the right of way? You are waiting for something to happen if you do not do something about this. We had hoped that this was going to be on the agenda tonight. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I will that this will be on the next agenda June 4th, so that we could get this approved, so that we can take care of this issue that is presently a danger in our intersection. Being able to install this mural is only going to require maybe 5 days of good weather. If you're thinking about the city departments that we're going to collaborate with, like the traffic department, DPW. This is also not a question of overtime. The city has already received DRI funding, or Downtown Revitalization Initiative funding, where they have already slated to do the curb cuts and the ADA compliant parts of these intersections. That money is already allocated from the state. So that's not tax money from the city. You have to do nothing but just say, we approve this. Because if you don't, you put the city in the position where now they have liability for anything that happens in that intersection. All somebody has to do is prove that, hey, there was no crosswalks and I twisted my ankle. This happened because the city council did not approve this. It's not going to be on the city administration, and it's not going to be on the departments. It is going to be on you. How much time do I have left, Tom? Oh, 30 seconds. Y'all got a question in 30 seconds?
We're not permitted to ask you questions, but we can talk to you afterwards if you
Okay.
stick around. So.
And you all have my email. You all have my phone number. We shop at the same places. I'm not hard to find. Thank you. Peace.
Yeah, I don't have that one. We have a different one. Okay. That's it. Thank you.